Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from Ludy Bros Entertainment. We are so excited for this one. Okay, we're getting into it. Season 7 is evolving. We are seeing some exciting things coming. Darth Maul, Ahsoka Tano, on Mandalore. Let's get into this video. Lil bro, what do you feel coming into this video?
All right, so we pick up immediately after the last episode. Ahsoka is surrounded. Darth Maul is man, I gotta say, Darth Maul's voice actor is incredible. You know?
Sam Witwer. His name's Sam Witwer.
Sam Witwer. If you're watching this, brother, you good at your job. You need to tell Lucasfilm to give you some more Darth Maul stuff.
Yeah.
He just does a phenomenal job from the minute he took the role and evolved it from Clone Wars and Rebels, and he even voice acts in the Solo movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just does an incredible job with his voice lines and his impersonation of Darth Maul is so good. And man, like, this episode was up there with one of my favorites. What did you think?
Well, I love it too. Speaking of Sam Witwer's voice acting, I mean, he does an excellent job of bringing a sinister feeling to Darth Maul, and he does an excellent job of making Darth Maul sound like haunted. They talk about him and the impending doom that he's feeling coming on, and he does an excellent job of bringing that to the forefront, bringing that emotion in the character out to the forefront, and really showcasing like just how impacted Darth Maul has been from the events of the first movie, The Phantom Menace, all the way till now. You can just see how the character has evolved over time to just being this haunted dark side, you know, and he's still pretty powerful. Darth Maul still has some power. He's able to sense, and he's had some visions leading up to what's going to happen. But he was never privy. He was never privy to the grand design of Darth Sidious. So I love the way that that Sam Witwer has delivered on his performance as Darth Maul. Now, this was a huge episode. One of the things I touched upon in our last review is the animation. When those lightsabers come out in this one, I was just like, man, this is top notch. This is top notch animation. I mean, it looks real. It looks real. Like, what do you think about that?
I thought it was, spot on. Like, the best animation I've seen for an animated series in a while. And then after that episode came out, they released a little behind the scenes look. Did you know they had Ray Park doing animation? The guy
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. The Phantom Menace's original Darth Maul actor did the fight scene with another martial artist or whatever.
Yeah.
For that lightsaber battle that he and Ahsoka will have later on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, wow. So basically, both Darth Maul characters come together again.
That's cool.
To deliver and that's just great. That's great for us fans. We get to see something truly special in that episode. And you hear Darth Maul say the dark side has never been stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You start to feel the coming doom for the Republic and the Jedi, and Darth Maul's plan was to try and lure Kenobi and Anakin there to try and stop Sidious's plan, which I thought was really interesting. That Darth Maul knows not all of his plan, but at least a good majority of it, to try and stick it to his master after being abandoned and being disrespected in season 5.
Darth Maul has had everything. I mean, he's had everything taken away from him over the course of the events of episode 1 through the course of all the events here in the Clone Wars animated series. I mean, he's literally had everything taken from him. Half his body's taken from him. His brother's been taken from him. His place as a Sith Lord has been taken from him. And, that was another little interesting thing that Lil Bro and I had a discussion on. But he's had everything literally taken from him. And he's been able, even through all that, he's been able to scratch and claw and fight and still put together a small, and we see that he's like developed this crime syndicate and he's just holding on. He's holding on. His hatred is still fueling him. He's holding on to being able to create a place in the galaxy. And it's like, this guy is the ultimate, what even is the term that I'm looking for? He's the ultimate guy to continue coming back. He's just holding on. He kind of, in my mind, he kind of resembles what it means to be a dark side force user, in that his hatred is what kept him going all this time. It was his hatred of Kenobi, and then that grew into his hatred of his former master. And I agree with you. Him creating that plot to go ahead and get Anakin and rid his former master of his future apprentice. That shows. You mentioned it in one of our, I don't know if it was a private talk or if it was in a video, but you said that Darth Maul, he's up there with being able to plot and plan. He's up there with Sidious. And I actually agree with you, especially now with the events in this episode coming to light. That makes me even more so agree with you and your line of thinking on that, because he was plotting that whole, that plan.
I mean, and then we get to the part where Darth Maul kidnaps ARC Trooper Jesse, which I feel like he should have got a little more screen time in these last few fights, but we'll save that for another time. He kidnaps him and then uses the Force, kind of like what Kylo Ren did in Force Awakens, to read his mind and force him to tell him about Ahsoka Tano. And then we move on to where Darth Maul tries to turn Ahsoka Tano to his side because of the things that have happened to her, like the Council turning her, literally turning its back on her, even though she had never betrayed the Republic or the Jedi in any way, to her realizing that the Jedi are not as the heroes that she thinks that they were, to the Republic being as corrupt and everything that was one of the reasons the war started in the first place, with the Separatists breaking off, because the Republic was corrupt from within. So these last few episodes, are just the culmination of Sidious's corruption and control of the Republic, of instigating the Clone Wars. And these series are just good story fillers, and in my opinion, they make the prequel movies at least bridging even all of them really together as a complete story.
Well, I think that it's doing an excellent job of filling in the gaps of episode 3 within itself. Within episode 3 as a standalone movie, especially the story arc is doing an excellent job of filling in the gaps of, the 501st. Where were some of the members of the 501st? It's filling in the gaps. Where is Ahsoka? Filling in the gaps of Darth Maul, and letting us see that the events that take place, if we consider the movies, this up here, this tier up here, it's filling in the events, because like we said, there's so much that these characters up here are doing that is affecting this character, this character, this character, all the way down to people who you might think, oh, well, they don't have any importance or anything like that. Talking about those two sisters from the previous story arc, but then they come back later on, and it has an impact, and it has some weight. Them in the previous video we talked about it. They're telling Ahsoka how they feel about the galaxy. Well, now we see here Darth Maul. He's been impacted. His whole life has been impacted, and now he's come back full circle here. Ahsoka Tano, the Jedi turning their back on her, that impacted her, and they're lucky that she decided to be, still working for them as a citizen and trying to help them. The ends justify the means here, trying to help the light side of the Force, by even bringing them all to justice. She didn't have to go. She didn't have to go there. There was nothing forcing her to go over there. She could have been like, this isn't my fight anymore. I'm no longer a Jedi. But she went, Now, something that I think is very interesting. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I think because the way that Darth Maul spoke to her about Anakin not being the chosen one in Maul's aspect, and being the one who's going to be, he's going to become Darth Vader. He's going to destroy the Jedi. He's going to, do all these things. And Ahsoka couldn't believe, because at first she said, I'll help you, but you will have to tell me what you want, why you wanted Anakin here. And then he wanted to basically kill him because of the threat that he would pose. And Ahsoka could not believe that her former master, the person she had spent, a good chunk of her life with,
Mhm.
would become someone like that. And she was not. She then decided, well, I can't. I'm not going to follow you
Mhm.
because of that.
Well, it makes me wonder because we saw Darth Maul and we saw his brother Savage Opress going up against Sidious, and they were soundly defeated. So it makes me wonder: is Ahsoka that strong in the Force that she's going to be able to really help Darth Maul defeat Sidious? Was this just a ploy? Now we've heard. Hold on, real quick. I see you wanted to jump in. Let me just throw this out there. Vader asks Luke to join him. Darth Tyrannus asked Obi-Wan to join him. Darth Maul here is asking Ahsoka to join him. All with the same thing. Together we can overthrow him. Together we can stop him. My question is this: aside from Vader and Luke, because I do believe those two would have been able to do it, would Dooku and Obi-Wan have been powerful enough to do it? Possibly.
Maybe.
This last duo here, I don't know if they would have had the power to be able to go ahead and overthrow Sidious. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Ahsoka was trained by the Chosen One, and she was very, very strong in the Force. We've seen it. We've seen her develop her Force, abilities over the course of this war.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think so. I think if Maul was still a whole person,
Then
maybe. But he's almost as close to a shadow of his former self. And as you saw, he was soundly, even one-on-one, and he had Savage Opress, which was he was a little powerful. He had strength advantage, but Sidious's mastery of the dark side was just too much for him and Maul.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think necessarily they would have fared any better. I think if she did join Maul, I think she might have been able to save Anakin before he went too far.
Mm-hmm. So maybe let's play a little what if game. So maybe those two, she joins him, they head to Coruscant, and then what? She's able to talk some sense into Anakin before he makes a rash decision. Is that your line of thinking?
I think so because her opinion would matter to him. Because to him she's like a little sister.
Well, and then also we had Obi-Wan reaching out to her and saying, I'm coming to you. And Obi-Wan says it too. The council's not always right. And the Jedi think they're always right, especially the High Council members of Yoda, Mace Windu. They think they're always right. And Obi-Wan, for once,
Mace Windu, yes, but not yet. I wouldn't say Yoda.
You know what, Yoda, and actually, it's funny that you bring up Yoda because I was doing a little bit of review from the end of season 6, where Yoda is out trying to learn the secret of immortality, and he comes to those I think they're called the Wills. I think they might have called them the Wills in that episode. But he comes to them and he's asking them to teach him the secret to immortality. And so on his very first little test, he faces himself. He faces the dark side of himself. Yoda thought he had already eliminated that. He's like, I'm a Jedi Master. I've already faced that and conquered it. After he faces that and faces that manifestation of the dark side in himself, those spirits, the sister spirits, they come back to him and they said, you thought you had nothing else to learn from us. Deep down, that's what you thought. And Yoda has to admit, yeah, you're right. So yes, Yoda's included in that. Mace Windu, Yoda, they think they're always right. They do. And so this is
for another time.
Well, we can say it for another time, but then I've already got the proof. So they think that they're always right. And here we're seeing, huh?
May have some proof back.
Well, here we're seeing, with Darth Maul looking for some way to supplant the Emperor, well, he's not the Emperor at this point, he's still Darth Sidious, or some way just to get back to his former master, to get back at him. Yeah. He was never, and like you already said, he's a shadow of himself. No matter how strong he was or what other ways he could find to boost himself up, it wasn't going to be enough to recapture his former ability. And return himself to his place by his master's side. So I really do think that this episode is, heading into Order 66. This episode is doing a wonderful job of just developing the characters. The dialogue is great. The lightsaber battles are great, which you just gave me some information. They brought back Great Park, which now that I'm thinking about the scene, I remember him doing he does a little like skipping attack where he double pumps with his blade. And I can remember Darth Maul doing that. I mean, it's just awesome, man. This episode was awesome, and this story arc is awesome. To mix in there with the episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. All right, well, I think that was our most in-depth review that we've given, and it's because this stuff has been gold, and that's one of the things that I always like to say. Disney, hey, we're calling you guys out. You guys have the ability to make some ultimate stuff, some top-notch stuff, some great stuff that will unite the fan base and keep us all excited and coming back hungry for more. You have a good line going here with the Clone Wars. You have a good line going with Mandalorian. Whatever you guys do, please, I'm asking, as a loyal fan, as somebody who hungers for Star Wars, don't ruin it. Like, please keep this line going. Keep it going. You got some good stuff here. Please keep it going. For the fans' sake, keep it going. All right, little bro, why don't you get us up out of here, man?
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us once again. Subscribe. Comment down below. How are you guys liking these episodes? We want to get your opinions in. We want to start some dialogue. We want to, converse with you. Just let us know what you think. Hey, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100. You do not want to miss out. These next 2 episodes, they're gonna be big. We're gonna have a lot of content. We're gonna have a lot of information. We're gonna have a lot of stuff for you guys. So please subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.
All right.